What made you decide to join the military?
Um, I just wanted to do something bigger than myself or any one individual. And, you know, maybe not my only, but my biggest fears in life is regret and unfilled potential.
Mm.
And so I didn't want to wake up one day and not only have missed the opportunity to join and to serve, but miss the opportunity to feel deep down inside that I committed myself, my body, and my life to a greater purpose and to other people.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Did you have family that was in the military? Like, where did that idea even spur from? Because, I mean, you could have went a bunch of different ways, right? And still maybe fulfilled what you're talking about.
Yeah, so my mom's dad was in the Navy, but
Okay.
he died, unfortunately, when I was very young.
Mm.
So, you know, kind of take him out of the picture, I guess, and no one else in my family
Mm.
has ever served or is a veteran. And so, yeah, I could have gone many different routes, but, and I think one of the things at the heart of why I joined, besides the reasons that I told you, is, you know, I've always been into sports, challenging myself, whether it is sitting in the recliner when I was really young, trying to master blowing bubbles with gum with my dad, or, striving for that next touchdown or putting that next big 45-pound plate on the weight bar. So I've always loved challenge and gladly accepted challenge. But I had never been pushed to the point of physically and mentally wanting to quit.
Yeah.
I had never been pushed so hard that I really had to, dig and look down deep inside me. And I wanted something to do that. And I knew that was not only the military, but after research, talking to people, and, I went to multiple different branches and recruiters. But, after I got that full picture, I knew that the Marine Corps was the path that was meant for me. And I knew that the Marine Corps would give me what I was searching for.
Yeah. Did you feel like you got that in boot camp and more, probably?
And a lot more.
Yeah, I bet. Was that a wake-up call for you? Like, what did I do? Or were you into it?
Both. I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
So you think it starts at boot camp.
Yeah.
And then you get about a mile outside of the gate. You're on this bus with all of the other nasty recruits going to Parris Island. And you're about a mile outside the gate, and the bus driver, who has done it many times, I'm sure, he tells you to put your head down in between your legs. You're thinking, like, okay, like what's going on here? And then you learn that it is because if you ever go crazy or try to run away and escape from Parris Island, you won't know or be familiar with the one little windy road.
Is that
and
true?
The only way in and off of Parris Island through the swamps and all of the sand fleas and sand gnats. So,
Is that true?
yeah, that's true. So head down in between my legs. I kind of had that thought of, what did I get myself into before I even had the van door ripped open by one of the scariest human beings I've ever seen. But you get out, and even though you're thinking, what have I done? You're terrified. No one's ever screamed at you like that.
Yeah.
You get out and you stand on those famous yellow footprints.
Mm-hmm.
And even though everyone has different haircuts, you don't have your uniforms yet. I mean, you are fresh off the bus, but you still get in that forced, but for the first time in your life, that structured military formation. And, going into boot camp, I knew I wasn't going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to, just get in the mindset of okay, when I do get pushed to that limit, whether physical, mental, or emotional, kind of just whatever comes my way, not only will I not quit, but how do I want to handle myself?
Mm.
And
You were thinking about that even before the fact, is what you're saying.
yes, because you hear the horror stories
Of course.
and the beautiful lessons that come from Marine Corps boot camp. So I knew those moments were inevitable. So I knew I didn't know what I was getting into, and I couldn't adequately prepare or expect or know most of the stuff that I was going to be exposed to. But I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be very challenging mentally or physically. And so I just got in the mindset of, not only am I not going to quit, but what am I going to learn about myself? And I was curious how far and hard I could push myself.
Yeah. Did you learn things about yourself that you didn't previously know? I mean, you said you were an athlete. I went to basic training when I was 18 years old. Similar situation. I played sports. I had coaches that pushed me, and I did the thing. I saw a bunch of guys who had never experienced any of that really struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I thrived in basic training because I had that experience.
Yeah.
But I did learn things about myself that I didn't know were there. Did you feel that same way?
I learned, well, I learned what I set out to do or why I joined in the first place.
Hmm.
I learned and experienced and felt what it was like for, really the first time, besides my family and very intimate things like that. But for the first time, I really learned and realized and felt what it was like to be a part of a group of people and an organization that is greater than any one individual.
Mm.
And not only that, I learned what it felt like deep down inside to value the person to the right and left of you as much as yourself and as much as your own life. And maybe at that point you're very motivated and hyped up on Marine Corps and boot camp and all these things. So maybe you're not at the point just 13 weeks into it that it's automatic, hey, I'm going to lay down my life for someone, or I'd gladly do that, because none of us really ever know. But to be taught those lessons about former Marines, heroic Marines that were told that hey, if you make it to this beach during World War II, you'll probably still only have about 20 seconds to live. At
That's
18,
crazy.
19, 20 years old,
crazy.
They still charged ahead.
Yeah.
The Marines that, froze to death at the Chosin Reservoir in Korea, those Marines that fought so heroically and put others above themselves in the fields of Vietnam that most people have never heard of, can't pronounce, don't know where it is on a map. And so, to hear all of those things, just even though it was the beginning steps, it laid the foundation for not only what I learned about the Marine Corps and what it was to be a Marine, but what it truly means to serve and do something bigger than yourself.